Will John Cena put anyone over clean? I'm still laughing about that from last weekend, James.
A whole week I've not been able to sleep.
Will John Cena put anyone over cleanly? Anyway, let's get on to Q&A number 112. You know the drill. Random Girl 95. Favorite Royal Rumble surprise entrant? For me, it'll probably be Mr. Perfect back in 2002. That was pretty good.
There's that one. There's seeing Booker T come into the Rumble. That was a good one.
Chris Jericho last year was pretty good.
Jericho's good. You could almost count Triple H, even though that was scheduled to happen. So it weren't a surprise.
Who's your favourite? Because you're a Triple H fan. So
I could go with that, but please leave some more in the comment section.
Favourite Royal Rumble match? Oh, this is an easy one. This is Cactus Jack and Triple H at Royal Rumble 2000. Great match. Love that one.
Indeed. Very nice.
Best Money in the Bank cash-in and favourite Money in the Bank cash-in. Well, I think the best one would probably be Edge. That was like the first sort of big cash-in that they had. That's the favourite one. Maybe Miz from 2010. That was kind of well done.
That was a step up for the Miz, so I'm going to give that credit. But mine is John Cena, because when he did it, he lost.
And did he put over anyone cleanly in the process, MJ? Nope. Mr. TNA 2005.
Hello again.
How do you think Sleg Daddy would react when he sees Mickey James' video of a guitar hitting Magnus? Why don't you ask him? It's 21st of April. Probably the question will be answered in November, December 13. I bet from now that until when Wayne Barrett will be significant as he has been in the past 6 months. I like his promos, but in April 21, he sucked, and it's not his fault. Opinion. Well, he's been going downhill ever since his return last year. That's all I can say about Wade Barrett.
It's not going to change for me. Barrett's still going to be a favourite of mine, so I'm going to root for. But yes, he's not being booked in a way that you'd expect or want him to following Nexus.
For Dan, if you have to do a review of Garrett Bischoff instead of NJ reviewing him pinning Angle in the handicap match, what would you say? I would say you have no business pinning a guy like Kurt Angle, a guy as illustrious of a career as he's had when you're just a Bischoff. That's all I'd say. The Enlodium, we're getting some repeated questions here. Do you think Daniel Bryan is overrated? I feel that he has been in the IWC and didn't have Punk to draw over. They turned to Daniel Bryan and Ambrose. Now Punk's back there in Dreamland. You know, I don't necessarily think Daniel Bryan is overrated. He is a very good in-ring performer. I think the problem with Daniel Bryan has always been, will he ever get over? And he's now got over. And although the IWC do love to overrate people like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and say they're these massive draws when facts say they're not, he's still a good talent for WWE. I don't want to go say he's overrated. I'll say he's a good talent for WWE if they use him correctly.
Do you think Daniel Bryan's overrated? No! 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 There are some people that, you know, say a lot of positive stuff about Bryan, and they've got reason to. The first one, yes, I went behind it. This one, go for it. As for CM Punk, he's still been put in good places in the WWE, and I guess hopefully this is WWE's chance to put Bryan in a good place.
The question is though, will John Cena put Daniel Bryan over cleanly? Also, do you think Ziggler's career is tarnished due to the string of losses? Does his face turn make it more vital to get over due to losses? He may as well have been a babyface for the last 2 years because he's done nothing but lose, and his babyface turn now, from what I've seen on SmackDown, is just diminishing.
Sadly, with that, like we've said about a few months back, there are wrestlers in the WWE who could do with a face turn. Like The Miz was definitely one, in my opinion. Ziggler being one, and I think, as it's only early days, hopefully if the WWE wake up more following the Del Rio feud, it could turn out really well. Hopefully.
Is it finally Rose's time to win Money in the Bank and get World Heavyweight Championship, or will Sandow/Barrett get it? Yeah, sorry, we're a bit late on this one, but it turned out that you kind of got it right with Damien Sandow winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Sorry, the Money in the Bank, and I think this would be a good opportunity to try and make Cody Rhodes a little bit more relevant as a babyface, maybe going forward. If not any, because he's better than him being a jobber, that's all I can say.
We were talking about Dolph Ziggler's losing streak. Well, Cody Rhodes is no better, and it's really sad because Cody Rhodes, the IC champion, bringing in the old championship, he's really not in a place where he could have been following that run. But I think, yes, concentration is going to be put on Sandow.
The Paguna. If Cena was to have a career-ending injury, how would WWE cope without him? They would probably be very tough to find the next sort of big star because they don't really have one.
And they would lose the best person to put people over because, you know, John Cena's famous at that, you know.
John Cena's always putting people over clean, isn't he?
From day one he has. Dan, don't laugh, he's serious. He's the best guy to put people over. Remember that match?
With Kurt Angle. When he debuted, he put him over clean.
Then there was
that time and No.
No.
Backlash? Was it back? No, I can't remember.
They won't survive very well.
Yeah, Crew 5150 Timar. Oh, this is interesting. 10 favourite current wrestlers: Daniel Bryan, Kofi, Orton, Heel, Ziggler, Rey Mysterio, Langston, CM Punk, and Reigns. Stipulations: Extreme Rules, 2 out of 3 falls, Hell in a Cell, I Quit, or any other. Now, NJ and Mr. Parkin, who would you have face off out of these guys? What stipulation would you add to them? Okay, this is interesting. So we've got, all right, what have we got to work with here? CM Punk. I'd have him feud with Orton Heel. I mean, have we even seen that yet? I don't believe we have. We might as well feud Orton and CM Punk in a Extreme Rules match.
The fact you've got Orton Heel, I think having him go against CM Punk, this could be the perfect time to do it. So I'd say that'd be a match to watch out for.
I'd say Rey versus Daniel Bryan would be a pretty good mid-card feud. Maybe give them a 2 out of 3 falls match. That'd be pretty good.
That, I would say yes, but I'm going to go with more Rey and Ziggler. I'd say more Rey and Ziggler for me.
I'd say Daniel Bryan and Rey because we've seen Ziggler and Rey before. So Kofi Kingston and Biggie Langston, I think, would be a pretty decent feud, in my opinion. Just because you've got a Biggie Langston who's a big guy, Kofi Kingston who's a high flyer, that would work well. Maybe...
They could have made that feud. They could have made it, and they wouldn't have been too bad. I know Langston's a bigger guy, but it would definitely make Kofi work more. What
about Roman Reigns? So we've got Roman Reigns there. We got Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, Orton, Ziggler, Rey, Langston, CM Punk, Reigns. Who else could? I mean, you can have Reigns maybe at some point down the line face someone like a Sheamus.
Well, I'm going to go with someone you've already got on that list. I know I'm going to use it again, but CM Punk. I think the fact Vince has had eyes on bigger guys before, putting him against someone who's at the top, being CM Punk, I think that match would be good. And plus, Reigns and Punk, I can see being an okay match.
With Daniel Bryan and Cena for the WWE title a possibility, now a definite, how would you book it and what kind of matches would you give them? I'd just give them a normal singles match at SummerSlam. How would you book it? Well, it would be the battle of the 2 big baby faces. Pretty much.
As much as you could add a submission kind of style to this match, because Daniel Bryan and John Cena having one each, I think this the first time they're actually feuding in the strong way, going for the championship. It's going to be just play it simple, let them go for it, and then later on, if the feud continues, then add a stipulation. And that's how I'll do it.
In my opinion, it's what they should have done with John Cena and Rey Mysterio in SummerSlam 2011 and allow CM Punk to stay off TV for a little bit, have 2 big baby faces go clash at it. Why not have Daniel Bryan and Cena just, be 2 big baby faces, really over with the crowd, see how the crowd reacts. If Daniel Bryan gets more reaction, well, he's more over than John Cena. I refuse to give up on the WWE draft as it should happen, but with NXT talent coming through now, that increases the roster. Why not have it back, especially, say, the Shield become stars? Well, you don't really need the draft to bring in NXT talent. You just need to introduce them in a strong way. And I don't really think there's much point in the draft now. The brand split is just kind of gone.
The draft was definitely something that I liked in the WWE. It was different, something to look forward to, something to question, something to wonder. But with the brand split and NXT not being at Raw or SmackDown's level with roster, I think it's best to keep it as it is.
As NJ and I adore Lita, can you see WWE bringing her back? And if so, would a last title run be good for her? I don't see the point, really, in bringing Lita back, really, but go on.
The question I had, especially when AJ became Divas Champion, she's got no diva to put her over, give her a match that's going to clarify her as a proper top diva champion stuff. So I think having Lita, someone who has made it, done it all, to come back, feud with AJ beating Lita, would do that. So I say either a championship win or at least a match.
Probably have to be at WrestleMania though, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Scene Play 101. What do you think WWE should do with Kofi Kingston? His character is pretty stale and it's really going nowhere. When he returns, do you think he should be a heel character, possibly taking on a villainous type Jamaican equipped with a new entrant music and ring attire? He does need something different because Kofi Kingston has just been the same character for 5, 6, however many claps he wants to do years. And maybe a heel turn would suit Kofi Kingston right now. I don't know.
About Kofi, he's a bit like John Cena. He's had reasons to turn heel, but he hasn't. And I think if Kofi turned heel again, it would definitely put him in a different place because we see his character fits being a heel. But I just don't see the WWE putting concentration on him anymore.
No, I mean, it doesn't really feel like they're ever going to take Kofi above mid-card, does it? Providing this is The Undertaker's last WrestleMania, It's inevitable that he will be inducted. Do you think during his speech the WWE will let him break character? I think they should do it because you rarely see a wrestler like Undertaker ever break character, and it'll be interesting to see what he, as Mark Calloway, would have to say about his character. I mean, at the Hall of Fame induction, I think it should be Mark Calloway. He definitely shouldn't break characters. It should be more truthful and more emotion, and we should definitely get Mark Calloway if he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 30, especially an illustrious WrestleMania.
I think he could come in as Mark Calloway and make some Undertaker references for the fans who are there. But I think with the importance of the Undertaker and thanking the viewership, Vince McMahon, all that, I think he should come in and cut a proper Mark Calloway promo.
Much like all the wrestlers do at the Hall of Fame. But it is interesting that he's never really broken character that many times, so it'd actually feel quite special as well. In terms of theme music with the promo video packages for pay-per-views, the WWE always seem to get it right. What are your favourites? Wow. I remember SummerSlam 2003. They had Metallica and Saint Anger, and every time the drum used to go on Saint Anger, boom, boom, they used to have a guy like hitting someone, and that was a pretty good video package. I like that.
I can't remember, but yes.
There are some really good ones.
Well, from my knowledge,
WrestleMania 17, My Way by that was brilliant. A brilliant song to end WrestleMania. I love that. Do you know what WWE? Do you know what I think WWE needs to do more often? Have backstage freaking segments and interviews with talent on pay-per-views. We don't see enough of it anymore.
Sadly, they don't seem to do that much anymore. And you say about in-terms music with promo. As of recently, like, I can't think of one that has actually... They've got not the right kind of music anymore now. So in the past, we could probably name more if we actually thought it's pre-hand. But yes, I think they need to bring it back in a way that is going to fit the time. Back
in the Attitude Era, there was it was very rock orientated, and there was some real good sort of brutal video packages. You don't really get that in the PG era. It's not really that memorable. Sassy Carter. What are your thoughts on rumours of The Rock being in Terminator 5 and it might compromise his WWE return next year? Would you want him to take the role or do WrestleMania 30? And do you think Money in the Bank is still important, or has it lost its meaning over the years? I think Rock should focus on his acting career. I really do. I mean, as much as I would love to see him there for WrestleMania 30, it's going to be a big WrestleMania. If the same thing's going to happen at this WrestleMania and it's going to affect his movie career, then he probably shouldn't do it.
Some people have been saying the Terminator series has been slipping since the early few. So yes, he's still going to make a whole lot of money from it. But if he came to WrestleMania 30, which was rumoured that these kind of matches can go in, yes, he'd be missing out on that. But then you've got to compare it to the match he could have had to the next Terminator.
And do you think the Money in the Bank is still important, or has lost its meaning over the last year? It's lost the reason why it's lost a bit of meaning is because they don't build superstars up to win Money in the Bank anymore. They have them job, and then out of nowhere we're expected to believe they're the World Heavyweight Champion. It's just not the way it really should work, in my opinion.
The thing that's thrown me is, as we've said before, the WWE have a lot to write with, why we keep mentioning their writing ability right now. The fact they have 2 Money in the Bank winners, that's 2 sets of writing for 2 individual wrestlers. When it was just the one, you can concentrate your full writing on this one wrestler. So I think since it came to, yes, there may have been some good 2 Money in the Bank matches, but I think when it was the one, things were a lot better.
I totally agree with you on that one. RGB Rich Porter. Is the suicide gimmick played out? I think it is. I mean, now we know who's in the suit. What's the point in having him in the suit called Manic? There's just no point to it. You might as well just have TJ Perkins wrestle now. Mysteriousness is gone.
When TJ Perkins was revealed, fans were liking it and stuff, so to change it back to suicide, I don't think it was the best move.
The character's just run its course. It really has. It's manic. Is it better to be a jobber on TV or a guy that doesn't get any TV time at all? Well, that's a difficult one, because if you're off TV, they might just bring you back to TV, like Curtis Axel or something like that. Whereas if you're jobbing on TV, then you probably don't. You're probably going to be in the doghouse for a long time.
Well, for the people who are not on TV, they're still getting paychecks so they get released. So maybe you can just sit back and go, just watching this great match on TV.
Well, they'll be still doing other shows. But
odd matches here and there. But to be on TV, I think the fact you're on a Raw, on a SmackDown, on a pre-show or something, at least you're getting something.
The rumour has always gone round that Drew McIntyre's push was cut off due to what happened with his wife at the time. 1, is that a good reason to cut someone's push? 2, where do you think he would have got to? And 3, and what would the office have done if it was the other way round? As for number 1, you know, I guess it depends on WWE's policy when it comes to people dating and in their business and everything. But apparently, his wife beat him up. And to be honest with you, if you push a guy whose wife beat him up, he doesn't exactly look like a tough son of a bitch.
Well, the thing is, the WWE, we can, again, we thought about this pre-hand, we could have got more examples, but the WWE do concentrate on backstage, some real-life events to make stuff happen within their company. And as with Drew McIntyre, yes, he was in a good place before this, but yes, they looked up, in case you got out in the media and people realised what Drew'd done, it wouldn't look good for him, like it doesn't look good.
And to be honest, with Drew McIntyre, I would have seen him going to the main event and winning Money in the Bank in 2010 instead of Kane. But I think he probably would have got to the main event and then WWE would have just screwed over another young talent because they always seem to.
I think Drew McIntyre, again, the way he was being brought up, going through the SmackDown general manager at the time and then moving up, I think he could have had a good semi-run up there, but again, it just didn't happen.
And what would the office have done if it was the other way around? If Drew McIntyre had beat up his wife, they probably would have fired him.
Yes, that's going to be even worse to see out in the media that one of your, let's say, World Heavyweight champions has beat up a woman, his wife.
It just goes to show you, though, doesn't it, that violence doesn't solve anything.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Is John Morrison missed by the fans watching the product, and would him being there make any difference to the product now? No, not really. It'd just be another mid-carder.
Even though I did like John Morrison, he was like Kofi Kingston, who did all these good spots here and there, someone who entertained us, someone who, out of him and Kofi, maybe could have got a better push than Kofi. So I'd say he is missed, and if he came back, I think fans would want to see more from him.
Is WWE focusing too much on merchandise, sponsorship, and promotions and not enough on talent? Well, they're a business, so they kind of have to focus on things like merchandise, sponsorship, and promotion and marketing, or else they wouldn't be a big brand like they are.
Take notice, TNA.
Indeed. Mark Slam S621. If the Attitude Era never occurred, would the PG era be the natural evolution for WWE? Who knows? We might, even right now, the times may have come around that it might be the Attitude Era now, depending on, what happened. It just depends on the social norms at the time and what is going on in the socio-economic world.
I think things that happened in the Attitude Era helped make the PG era the right move in the Vince McMahon's eyes and stuff. So I say if there was no Attitude Era, I think they would have continued doing kind of good stuff in the WWE.
Metal Ruler 45. Do you think Daniel Bryan's very low-rated main event match shows that he really isn't as big of a draw as internet fans claim he is? Yes! Thank you for someone else seeing sense. He drew what? When he had a match with Randy Orton, he drew 105,000 viewers, which was the lowest gain of the year. I don't think Daniel Bryan is a massive draw. I really don't think. But the thing is, people will make excuses. Oh, they haven't built him up right. And, the hockey game was on. And, the hockey game, blah, blah. They'll make any fucking excuse for Daniel Bryan. And without listening and looking at the fucking facts that he didn't draw numbers.
I know Vince McMahon is obviously going to try and do what he can to get his money and stuff. But with Daniel Bryan, the fact that he gets positive reaction, fans obviously want to see him. He's going to sell merchandise when he comes up with new shirts and stuff. So I think he's definitely a good person that should be where he's at now.
It also shows that Randy Orton isn't that much of a draw as well. Do you think Aries will beat Bully for the title and perhaps making Aries versus AJ at Bound for Glory? This is what happens when we get sent current questions and it gets really, really high up on our list. Well, ended up being that Chris Sabin beat Bully Ray for the championship, and I don't think he'll hold the belt that long, really.
If it does go back to Bully Ray, I think the Aries thing has moved away. Yeah. Someone else will get the chance against Bully Ray. Don't know who yet until TNA give us more hints and stuff, but Aries and Bully Ray, no.
I still think it's a joke they gave it to... I'm not going to live that down. It's such a joke they gave the belt to Chris fucking Sabin of all people. Anyway, we'll end the Q&A there. We're not laughing our ass off at John Cena putting anyone over cleanly this time, but yes, so thank you very much for watching another Q&A. Please keep sending in your questions. And NJ, do you have any words to end this show?
Well, this Q&A has been a lot of fun. These last two, you've sent us great questions in. So please continue to keep them coming in. Makes us think, makes us continue to answer your questions. And people from the MVP of the YWC, Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. What's up? Thank you very much for watching and take it easy.